Are you a director, manager or chairman looking for someone to facilitate a meeting or event so that you can participate fully? Or has your boss asked you to find a facilitator for an away day? Well, look no further. Please welcome your host, International Corporate Facilitator, Richard Winfield.
Hi there, and welcome to the 8th in our special video series, How to Choose a Facilitator. In this video, I'll give you some hints about how to find and select a facilitator who will suit your needs. This is your big challenge. You'll probably start with Google unless you have contacts who might be able to make a recommendation. But remember, someone who was successful in one situation might not be appropriate in another. Once you've selected some prospects, you'll need to find out more about them. So here are some initial questions to help you. What sort of organisations and groups have you worked with? You needn't be too concerned that they've worked with similar organisations in the past. Rather consider how flexible they appear to be, how they've approached working in different situations. What business experience do you bring? Again, this does not have to be identical with your organisation. But if the facilitator does not have corporate experience or has not worked with charities, for example, you'll need to ask some more searching questions. What are your credentials? You shouldn't expect formal facilitation qualifications. It's the richness of a person's background that can contribute to a successful facilitator. However, you should be reassured that they have a sound educational background, preferably a record of recent continuing professional development. What is your intellectual, philosophical background? This is a simple, practical question. Facilitators might have been consultants, trainers, coaches, public speakers, academics. They might have been in sports or in business. Or they might have been made redundant or taken early retirement and see facilitation as an attractive option. Understanding their background will give you some clues to their approach. What processes and tools do you offer? You should be reassured that the facilitator is able to draw on a wide range of appropriate tools and not use a favoured few because that's all they know. Do you offer any other services? It's certainly valuable if your facilitator offers a pre-meeting at which you can jointly agree on the outcomes and discuss particular challenges. It can often be helpful to meet each participant in advance and might also be useful to be able to follow up with individual coaching or specific training. Find out whether your facilitator is also a professional consultant, coach or trainer. Do they have specialist skills or knowledge that could be incorporated or could be relevant to follow-up work? Do you have any basic rules when developing a proposal? You will be looking for someone who will design a program to suit your needs, not an automatic off-the-shelf approach. However, an experienced facilitator will have a few basic rules that they work by. For example, Brevi Group favours a pre-event briefing and discussion at least a week before the event. Unless the venue is so local that we can visit in advance and discuss the layout then, we insist on arriving the night before. We always start with an introduction, housekeeping and ground rules. Next follows an introductions and aspirations session with aspirations recorded on flip charts. Where possible, the next session involves a communication exercise. We start each successive day with a review, and at the end we focus on actions, commitments and reviews. We photograph the flip charts and arrange for their future ownership. We don't favour happy sheets, but send out a workshop evaluation questionnaire a few days later. For intercontinental flights, we expect a 36-hour recovery period before the event, although this can be used for briefings, orientation and introductions. What advice can you give me on selecting a venue? This question will help you to appreciate the facilitator's variety of experience and their sensitivity to environment when organising an event. How do you address dysfunctional behaviour? This is not to suggest that your team will be causing problems, but rather to tease out the facilitator's approach to the participants, their self-confidence and the skills they bring. What is your basis for charging? This is important so that you can compare different proposals. It will also tell you something about their philosophy and their sensitivity to clients' budgetary needs. Do you charge by the day or the event? Do you charge for design and development? If there are handouts, workbooks, how are they produced or charged for? Do you charge for travel? Is your fee inclusive or do you charge extra for expenses? Do you require a deposit or prepayment? Do you charge VAT? Is your fee flexible? Do you have special rates for charities and social enterprises? Do you offer favourable terms for follow-up activities or further work? A facilitator's fee provides important information about the person, their position in the market and their typical clients. Cost is always a consideration when hiring a facilitator, but it shouldn't be a deciding factor, especially if the outcome is important. Remember that the facilitator's fee is only one part of the total cost. There's also venue, travel, accommodation and the opportunity cost of the participant's time. Set against this is the value of the outcome. What questions do you have for me? You shouldn't need to ask this question because a good facilitator will want to ask you some key questions anyway. Just note how interactive they are. What would a past client say about your style? This will give you an indication of what the facilitator thinks is important. For example, a comment I like to quote is, "We have some tough people in this room. In the past they've run rings around facilitators, but with your light touch and sense of humour, you've managed to keep us focused and on track." Are you prepared to put us in touch with past clients? Speaking with the client of a facilitator is an excellent way to learn about their strengths and weaknesses, their flexibility and responsiveness, and their ability to build rapport with participants. You can also learn a lot from a facilitator's response to this question. Do you have a standard set of terms and conditions? This is an excellent test of their professionalism. You should check on such matters as copyright, confidentiality, insurance, and what happens if either party needs to cancel. If you've not already done so, you will find a link to download your copy of How to Choose a Facilitator and subscribe to this video course at the end of this video. In the next video, I'll explain how Brevi Group would work with you. Until then, from me, Richard Winfield, best wishes.
Thank you for watching this video. It is part of the special series How to Choose a Facilitator from the Director Development Centre. To download your copy of the full guide, go to www.corporatefacilitator.co.uk.